So this week I'm back with Andrew from Audio Grade and we're doing a Q&A about headphones. So first question, Andrew, what are the main types of headphones?
Hi, Emily. It's great to see you again. There's three main types of headphones, I'd say. There's what we call in-ear. So these are your classic little buds. There's on-ear, which look more like this. They're slightly larger. And then there's over-ear, which look like this, which sit around your ear rather than on your ear itself.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of on-ear headphones compared to over-ear headphones?
So on-ear headphones, I'd say are all about convenience. And I've got an example pair here. These are some relatively cheap JBLs. I'll just pop them on. As you can see, they sit on my ear, so they can be a bit smaller. Also, these types of headphones tend to be folding, which means they're really convenient if you travel, you commute, and you want a slightly bigger, more immersive sound than earbuds. They're a kind of, I'd say, a bit of a travel companion. If you then go to the next size up, which is an over ear, generally these can cost a bit more. They are much bigger, as you can see, so they sit round your ear and they block a lot of the sound out. I personally find these more comfortable because they're not applying pressure to the ear itself. They're sat around your ear. And being a bigger cup basically means you can put bigger drivers in them. So you may get more bass, you may get a bigger, more expansive, what we call soundstage.
So when should someone choose open back headphones over closed back headphones and vice versa?
So another variation we haven't talked about is open and closed back headphones. The main difference, as the name implies, is a closed back has a sealed ear cup at the back. This keeps the sound in. It makes them much more suitable if you're out and about, you're commuting, or you're in a space with other people, because it locks the sound in and it doesn't allow sound leakage. Open back headphones, as the name implies, do allow some sound leakage, and this is to give them a much more open and expansive and slightly larger soundstage. It sounds less like you're listening to headphones. So I'd think about how you're going to listen to them, where you're going to listen to them to work out which is right for you.
What are the main benefits and limitations of true wireless headphones?
True wireless is a term that's emerged in the last few years. And what this refers to, I'll use an example here, is this type of headphone, which is an earbud that doesn't have a connecting cable to the bud itself. They typically connect to a charging case, and this is the thing that you plug in to charge, and then that charges the buds. The benefits are that you haven't got to carry a cable around to plug them in. They can be much more sort of convenient in that respect. The disadvantages are they rely on battery, and they're going to have the batteries inside the buds themselves, so they can be a bit heavier and a bit bigger. And they've also got what's called the DSP inside, and that refers to digital signal processing.
What are the emerging trends and headphone tech that buyers should be aware of?
So we mentioned true wireless. That's where the market tends to be going at the moment. And this is all about having less connecting cables. The thing I'd be looking for there is battery life, both when they're out of their charging case and how long they take to recharge. The other thing that's brought is how they connect, and they connect over Bluetooth. Traditionally, Bluetooth used what's called standard Bluetooth, which was okay, but generally a wired connection would be better. In the last few years, we've seen real technological progress with Bluetooth. So now we have what's called aptX or Bluetooth HD. I would be looking for that type of connectivity because it means you get a much higher quality audio signal being transmitted to the earbud. Other areas we've seen advancements in is around noise cancelling. Lots of headphones offer this, but they also offer three variations, which is no noise cancelling, and then what's called hybrid, which is something in between that allows some sound through. And that's really useful if you're switching between, for example, being on a train and then walking down the street where you've got to be aware of cars or whatever. So I'd look for what they offer. The third area, which that's brought, is app control. Lots of headphones now, and I'm going to reference my Bowers, which I use a lot. These have a really slick app that lets you connect to the music streaming platforms, but also lets you tweak their sound and toggle between the noise cancelling settings. It's much easier than trying to reach for your earphone and work out what you're doing with your hands. The other thing I'd be aware of is DSP. This is called digital signal processing. In the old days, you'd get a wireless headphone that you could also plug in. So if, like me, you forget to charge things up, you could just plug them in and they'd be fine. But lots of headphones now will only pass the signal through their DSP engine, as it's called. So if that's flat, it's game over. Hence, I'd just look at which model you're going for, how they actually work, and which are the right sort of settings and tech for you.